In these images might look like they're from a photograph, but this is an oil painting using a style called photorealism.
Here he's real sharp, you can see the sweat on him.
Since the 1970s, Daniel A. Moore has captured the hearts of both artists and fanatic sports fans alike.
My mom was a major in art education, so she always kept me in watercolors and finger paints, and my dad was encouraging the sports side, keeping me in football helmets, baseball gloves, cleats, and that kind of thing.
He formally trained and developed his artistic talent at the University of Alabama.
We did quite a bit of figure drawing and things like that.
As a Bama grad, it's no secret he pulls for the Tide, but when it comes to his art,
I give it my 100% artistic endeavor for each painting that I do, regardless of the team.
Back in the spring of 2022, this Daniel Moore art exhibit was opened in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. And what's really neat is that right here, 41 original watercolors all depict moments in time in Iron Bowl history.
And it covered what I called the classic Iron Bowl, when you had a 50-50 ticket split, and that Legion Field would rock back and forth.
He compiled these pieces into a large coffee table book called Iron Bowl Gold.
And the neat thing about that book was that I got to collaborate with Keith Jackson, the famous sportscaster. And then by collaborating with the Birmingham News, you got the perspective from the sports journalist.
Moore uses many reference pictures to create his perfect composition.
How hard is it to find a reference picture of Nick Saban smiling?
Well, it happens when he wins.
He says at first, his work simply starts with an idea.
And then followed by a series of small, maybe drawings or whatever, until I get the right composition. When I create these sketches, I really feel like I'm about 90% there.
Sometimes he'll even hide some Easter eggs in his work, like significant numbers and faces. In this painting called The Crimson Tradition, he had an extra special idea.
That I didn't know if I was going to do, because I didn't want it to be like, okay, he's just playing Where's Waldo in this thing, right? But I did think that as Coach Saban was lifting the Crystal Trophy, I wanted him to honor the 4 coaches that came before him as national championship coaches. So I thought, okay, if I did many portraits embedded into the facets of the crystal, but did them so subtly that nobody would really see them unless you said, there they are. I decided to do that, and it was the very last thing I painted on that. Everything was done, but I painted those in, and I'm glad I did.
These works of art are staples in man caves throughout the country. I asked if he has any of his own work on his walls at home.
I do.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have much of a man cave, but I have a few that my wife lets me hang.
A sentiment shared by many an SEC homemaker. You might recognize this painting. It's called The Crimson Legacy, and it's a still life.
We found that more women were attracted to that because it wasn't just football in your face.
Moore says each year he's flooded with orders for his mugs and calendars, which all make great holiday gifts for the sports fan on your list. Lillian Lalo, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.